Yes.
Final question first for Sam Graves. Dave Hellick.
Sam, what's the most misleading thing your opponent has said about you in this race? And Kay, you can answer it the other way.
Where do I start? My opponent is full of October surprises that have been absolute failures. And the fact of the matter is what you are seeing is a campaign that's in an absolute free fall. She's 10 points down. She has not had one single positive ad. All she does, and you heard it today, every single response started how? And you all heard it. And they are all just blatantly false. And the fact is just flat out untrue. And she goes through this process. She misleads you. It's just like on wind energy. He voted 7 times against it. Well, you're darn right I voted against those earmarks. And I have voted 5 times for it. But that is my opponent. She will not take responsibility, however, for her record in, when she was mayor, when she was the head of the city, when she was on the National Advisory Board for Fannie Mae. She doesn't want to talk about it. She wants to talk about me, and you heard her say it. Her role in this campaign is to talk about my record. You didn't hear one single comment about her own record and that she should be talking about her record. And that's the difference. That's the absolute difference. And the fact of the matter is, everything she has said today in terms of comments directed to me are just that. They are false.
Okay.
We all know the tactics of Sam Graves and Jeff Rowe, so it would take longer than we have for me to list what has been said that has been either a lie or a distortion. One example, you heard it earlier today that I raised taxes. That is simply not possible, as you well know. Let's talk about my record, particularly related to the Northland. Together, everybody in this room, together, we created $1.2 billion in development in the Northland during my 8 years as mayor and created more than 14,000 jobs in the Northland. Clay County's population has increased by over 27,000 between 2000 and 2007. Platte County's population increasing over 10,000 in the same period. We work together. KCI Airport renovation, American Airlines overhaul base, Paseo Bridge, public safety projects with the new fire station and the new patrol division. The list goes on and on. You know that as well as I do. I will stand on my record as mayor. This race is not a race for mayor. This is a race for the United States Congress. We have had someone in office for 8 years who took us from where we were in 2000, which wasn't too bad at a national level, and look at where we are today. Yes, this race is about Congress, Sam Graves' record, and what I can bring as an effective member of Congress.
It is time for closing statements. First, Kay Barnes.
Well, again, I want to thank everybody for being here with us. Over the last 45 minutes, Sam Graves has continued his distortions and his lies about my record and my values while refusing to take responsibility for his failures in Congress. I'll end where I started with a simple question. How can we expect to change the disastrous course our nation is on without changing the representatives who got us into this mess? After 8 years of an economic approach that gives all the breaks to Wall Street and the well-to-do, while telling middle class and working Americans, you are on your own. Our economy is shattered. You and I are left to pick up the pieces. And one of the congressmen who broke it is here today asking us to renew his contract. Think about it, folks. Imagine you own a company and Sam Graves is your employee. Your company's nearly broke and on the verge of collapse. And your least productive employee comes in to ask for a new contract and a raise. You and I both know you'd kick him out of the office and right out of the company in no time flat. For the last 8 years, Sam Graves has been George Bush's congressman. He's been Exxon's congressman. He's been Wall Street's congressman, but he has not been our congressman. That's why I'm running for Congress, because you know as well as I do why we so desperately need a change. And if you send the same person back, you get the same result. In contrast, I have the experience of dealing with complex issues, of working across party lines, and bringing differing groups together for a common cause. I will work with diligence and integrity for all the people of the 6th Congressional District. That's what we need to fix a broken Washington. Thank you.
Sam Graves.
Well, as I mentioned earlier, you're witnessing a candidate in an absolute freefall. She's 10 points down. She's struggling. She has absolutely nothing positive to say about herself in any of her ads, and you all have seen it. You're going to get exactly the same with my opponent. Barney Frank said yesterday on CNBC, and this is an exact quote, Barney Frank has given my opponent $6,000. I think at this point there needs to be a focus on an immediate increase in spending, and I think this is a time when deficit fear has to take a back seat. I believe later on there should be a tax increase on those who can afford it. Folks, that is exactly what you are going to get. Exactly. Let's use my opponent's words again. Her words. She said in Boonville just the other day, she said, my opponent and I disagree on everything. Absolutely everything. Let's go down through it. I want new drilling to increase American jobs, American energy. She doesn't. She said it. May 22nd, Kansas City Star. She said she wants no new drilling in places like Anwar, Outer Continental Shelf. I feel this recession, same as you. When I drive my daughter to the University of Missouri, my opponent has given herself more money, just had it laying around, has given herself more money in the last 2 weeks than she'll make in an entire year if she was elected to Congress. You think she's feeling it? Not a chance. I want all of the above energy: nuclear, wind, solar, oil, new oil, old oil, coal, new technology, alternative fuels. I want all of the above. My opponent, she wants some of the above. I voted against bailing out Fannie Mae, the first bailout bill. My opponent was on the board, on the advisory board, giving advice, as she said, on what to do with those loans. I want lower taxes. My opponent has raised taxes to the tune of $1.2 billion while she was mayor of Kansas City, the head of the city, the person responsible. I want a balanced budget. Her debt's gone up 300% when she was the leader of the city, the one responsible. I am against amnesty. She is for it. May 22nd, last year, she said, I think if those people have been here a while and they've shown a good work ethic, they ought to be allowed to stay. Her words, not mine. Folks, my opponent and Nancy Pelosi and Barack Obama and all of them, they are going to continue to do what they've always done, and that means we're going to get what we've always gotten: higher taxes, lost jobs, increased debt, and bigger government. I have a record of working for solutions. I have a record of working with folks to get things done, and that's the reason I have been endorsed by the State Council of Firefighters. That's the reason I've been endorsed by the National Education Association, by Democrats in all 26 counties, by the Farm Bureau, by the National Federation of Independent Business, and by the Chamber of Congress, because I represent my district to Washington, D.C. I don't represent Washington back to my district. She does not have those endorsements. I do. I would humbly appreciate your vote and all your help in the next 14 days. Thank you.
Sam Graves, Kay Barnes, thank you for your time today.